Fall in love with driving again with the Yaris Hybrid with 0% APR representative. Toyota, always a better way.
Make your road longer.
Make your story braver.
Make your horizons broader.
This would fill most people with anxiety.
This is an environment not to be messed with.
Make your world bigger.
Make your world bigger.
Make your world bigger.
Make your world bigger.
It's the final race before the mid-season break, and here we are at the Hungaro Ring, just outside of Budapest in Hungary. And it's a paddock and a pit lane in a reflective mood after the funeral of Jules Bianchi in Nice on Tuesday. But the show goes on, and it's Lewis Hamilton, who is 17 points clear of his teammate Nico Rosberg. You can join us for qualifying tomorrow, Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports F1 from 1 p.m.
3 matches to go.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
Super League Friday, we're about to start the second half here. Saints in control, you would think, 24-12. That's what the scoreboard says. What do the stats say, Phil?
Well, they show us where this game was played in the first half. St Helens had 74 play the balls, the numbers indicating, look, 20 play the balls inside the opposition 20 metres over the right-hand side of the screen. Let's turn it over and look at their opponents. Hull KR, far less possession. And just look where they've had it. In the middle of the field, almost near their own goalpost. 3 chances they've had close to opponent's try. Obviously, they scored 1 long-range try, but it is hard without the field position to compete against the champions.
Well, Paul Wellens, a St Helens legend, apparently he has had his hip operation and he's recuperating from that. And great to see him back up and on his feet. Part and parcel of this St Helens club. And Josh Montelato gets us underway in this second 40 minutes. We'll no doubt hear from Bill Arthur later what Chris Chester has exactly said to his players and Kieran Cunningham. But I wonder what your message would be to the Hull KR players, Steve-O, if you were the coach of Rovers.
I think it's more about the pride. You know, they were looking down the barrel, weren't they, 24-0. And then, they, you know, both those tries came from deep within their own half because they didn't have much field position. The kicking game has got to improve. We saw a little bit from Sean Lunt when he was out there. But I must say, when Chester brought out Badebza, it really did inject into it. Kieran Cunningham, I'm sure, did say, listen, started well and then went to sleep. Allowed them to get back into the game. We can't afford to do that.
You know, they have, Hull KR, won 6 of the last 10 meetings against St Helens, including a 2013 Challenge Cup 4th round tie here. Plus they've drawn 1. They have a better record than most against the Saints. And well, they've just got St Helens thinking a bit at the start of this second half, I think.
Yeah, Turner, nice option, just pushes it into the corner. It's when you do the little kicks like that, you know you've got the confidence of your teammates to make sure that is a solid defence. And that was one of the major problems in the first 30 minutes for the Rovers. They just could not get good field position. They started out with the kicking from Dane Chisholm. Then they had to rely on the hooker Sean Lunt when he was out there. But it has to improve.
Well, let's find out what was said in those dressing rooms at half-time, Bill.
Eddie, Kieran Cunningham not being too hard on his side, despite the fact they let Rovers back in with a sniff of a chance in this game. But apart from that 6-minute phase they've identified it as, pretty satisfied with the first 40 minutes, and more of the same really when they get into good field position. And Hull Kingston Rovers coach Chris Chester, well, good to see the way his side responded and pleased with that, but they really do need better field position. They were living off scraps in the first 40 minutes. If they're to really try and get back closer to Saints in this game, they've got to turn Saints around a lot more. Worry for Rovers at the moment, as I look him running past me at the moment, is Tyrone McCarthy, who is captaining the Hull KR side tonight, and virtually since the start of this second half he has been hobbling. He's still out there, obviously doesn't want to give it up, but he's not moving too freely.
And he'll want to be 100% fit for next week as well as this. He's in the tackle there, number 13, Tyrone McCarthy. He will be playing against his former club, the club that he won 2 Wembley finals with, Warrington, for a place in this year's Challenge Cup final. This, though, is Matty Dawson for St Helens, and he gets them to within 30 metres of the Rovers line. Burns fires the pass to Walsh. Walsh then finds Greenwood. He goes round a couple of defenders, would-be tacklers. Green's all over him, testing the patience of referee Robert Hicks again. Burns high off the boot. Now then, Montalato's coming for this. Dixon's there as well. It's flicked off Jones's hand, and so it's the 0 tackle as he goes down. So 6 more to go from here, with Wellham first up. And he gets away from Percival.
Sorry, Eddie, if that ball goes up again, Kieran Dixon can't pull out of it. You can see he just had a little look at Josh Jones, and that's a warning sign. You better be aware now, because he pulled out of that play. I'm sure there's going to be more pressure going his way.
Budebza scored a fine try in that first half, and that's a good run, hauled down by Alex Walmsley. He collared him.
That should have been a penalty. He was holding him down far too long.
That was Chisholm. He laid the pass off to McCarthy. Budebza.
Yeah, and Budebza is finding a few little chinks in this defensive armour of Saints.
James Green takes it forward. We've reached the 5th. Budebza again, and Maurice Blair will hoist the kick with the left foot wide to the left-hand side. Montalato's after this. It's well claimed, though, over on that far side by Dawson.
Well, he's got to be confident going for that, hasn't he? Because Montalato's an awful lot bigger than him. So Dawson never took his eyes off that, focused on catching it, and got Saints out of trouble.
Adam Swift trying to work the ball away, and Blair had hold of his collar. Could have been penalised. Good offload. Savelio here now. Brushes away from one. Almost gets away from Tyrone McCarthy. Can he get the arms free and get the ball away? No, the referee shouts held. So it's played quickly to Mark Flanagan. Here goes Jordan Turner. Good tackle by Green.
Yeah, better defence. That's the one thing that Chris Chester, that the Rovers coach, will be looking for.
Oh, they've got a chance here, though. The Saints, they've got 3 against 2 out wide. Televe finds Percival. Good hands from him to Dawson. Dawson goes round, or attempts to go round Wellham. Puts the ball on the deck. Wellham picks it up. And Wellham gets the ball away to Dixon, and the referee will bring it back for a knock-on. The first offence, though, will be by St Helens.
Yeah.
Head and feed to Rovers. Oh no, it's the turnover, he says, because it was the last tackle.
Yeah, 2 knock-ons called from the sideline, so that means you can't play on from that, and we go back to the handover.
But isn't this a different Saints in the second half? Where in the first half they were looking at kicking on the third play, turning Hull KR around. Now they seem to have come out and they're attacking. You want to score more tries, Saints, which could be ominous for Hull KR.
Oh, it's getting a bit tasty out there. With the swinging arm as well from Joe Greenwood. Was that a fine game? The big second rower. He's a hard man to stop, and he's a hard man to get through.
But Budebza waits as McCarthy plays the ball to him. Maybe a hint there that McCarthy had moved off the line. Budebza, though, moved off the mark, rather. Budebza goes down. He plays the ball to Cockayne. And he gets it away. That's good play to Chisholm. Chisholm then finds Dixon. And Dixon gets away from Burns. Well, he's a live wire, is Kieran Dixon. He's been a little shaky under the high ball tonight, fair enough, but when he goes forward, he's exciting to watch. Has been all year.
Yeah, it's a poor kick, though, to finish off at set.
Adam Swift.
It really needed to either be a little bit higher or just stab it into the corner.
Savelio, who's done 47 minutes in the prop forward position.
And maybe, Eddie, they're hoping that Andrea Savelio will do a lot of minutes in this match, because there's potential rule changes coming where teams will have left substitutions to make next season.
No, 2017, Phil. Blake Solly confirmed that.
2017, sorry. Well, in the future, in the near future. So they want, obviously, players to be a bit fitter and avoid that fatigue.
Burns has found a little gap, and he finds Percival, and here goes Dawson down the line. That's a great tackle, though.
Wonderful play by Maurice Blair. Did well to keep in the field of play, though.
Walsh now for the Saints.
He'll drive in one and surely put the kick through. The big fella's away.
Yes, hard to stop. Mossy gets the pass away to the ground. Adam Swift will pick it up. Cuts inside. And Chisholm is there. Helps out Dixon, brings him down. But they're 3 metres away from the line. The Saints, this is the last tackle coming up. Walsh will slide the kick through. Oh, off Daintills and backwards. That's good decision, Robert Hicks. The Saints fans don't agree. That's absolutely spot on.
Yeah, Graham Horn, it came off his leg, not the arm.
So Rovers escape, and here comes Mantellato. Oh, and he's punched a hole through, but Burns gets to him. Good tackle.
Yeah, it had to be as well.
Wellham, Blair, and it's Donaldson now.
Oh, that was a high shot. That should have been penalised. I think that was Percival that threw that one.
What a different team Hull KR look after the break, though. I mean, I suppose they arrested some of the problems halfway through the first half, but it's a much better performance here now, competitive in this match.
Yes, it's a much better 9 minutes at the start of the second half than it was the start of the match. Chisholm stabs it through. That's brilliantly read by Quinlan. And Quinlan's got the legs on Daintills. Tills has waved the white flag already.
He's had a fine game, this fullback, Adam Quinlan. And the ploy that Kieran Cunningham has utilised to put him into the dummy half on many occasions. But, well, it looked as though Dane Chisholm was going for a bit of glory, but all it did was just land straight, fair and square in the fullback's pair of hands, and he had the speed.
Mike, that is bad luck. You know, that very easily could be looking at 24-18. It really is a lot of bad luck here, Hull KR. And you've got, I like Dane Chisholm. I think we've seen some good touches from him. He's obviously backed himself here when he's gone through the line to put the ball past the fullback, go around and get it again. But he shakes his head here, knowing that after 10 minutes of working so hard and being so competitive, well, got nothing to show for it other than watching another attempted conversion.
Yeah, he did the right thing because he doesn't put it right in the breadbasket. He puts it onto the ground first. Nice little dummy. And watch it, he hits the ground, but it just bounces so well for Quinlan. Boy, is he enjoying his time here in England.
Well, it's his third appearance. He's already favoured with the St Helens supporters after his hat-trick in his opening game and his debut. And he was involved in the move for Turner's match-winning try last week as well. Adam Quinlan gets try number 4, and Kieran Cunningham, is he breathing just a little easier now than he was 10 minutes ago. Walsh is about to add the extras from bang in front. Luke Walsh, 6th appearance in a row for him. No problems with that. The man is going to take up the 3rd year of his contract option next year. He'll be here in 2016, and maybe Adam Quinlan will be as well, because he's showing up in his opening 3 appearances in the Saints jersey.
He's played very well, Eddie, hasn't he? Well, that was a sucker punch from Hull KR. Then Chisholm, I was watching him in the last set of 6 when they were defending. He just looked out on his feet, and then it took him 4 plays to get up with the plate. And I'm not saying it was a lazy kick, but probably if he had his chance again, he obviously wouldn't put it onto the boot and maybe would have run it, but he's shown enough in this game that he's here to play.
Try scorer is underneath the kick-off. Here comes Kyle Amor.
Now, I know Kieran Cunningham wanted the fullback Adam Quinlan to play in that position, but we've already seen throughout this game, Eddie, that Quinlan is more happy in and around the play the ball area. And to be fair to Burns and Walsh, they are creative, especially with the kick and also with the offloads, but neither of them have got the speed of what Quinlan has to ask a few questions of a defence. And that's why it's a huge bonus that Quinlan has joined the Saints.
Oh, here goes Turner. Important tackle from Liam Salter, that. Quick play the ball. Mark Flanagan finds Walsh. Walsh spreads it wide to centre field to Burns, and it went through the hands of Percival. Was it a knock-on? It was.
Yeah.
Just got the fingertips on that.
He thought it went backwards, but I think you'd have to classify that as a knock-on. Not too happy about it.
You know what he tries to do really well? It's the second time this half. He tries to set off in one line and then run away from the ball, hoping that the pass will hit him. I think OKR defend it well here. But it's twice though, it's brilliant play. Look, you can see his feet are already trying to get on the outside of his opponent. So then he draw in the winger and release a 2v1, but Willem defends it well and the pass doesn't quite hit him.
Looking away from the referee at the time, yeah.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
It's an old trick, Stuart. Don't look at the official and call out looking at one of your teammates.
He was about 10 metres away at the time.
He's got good ears, as Robert Hicks.
So we're approaching the 53rd minute. And that's Green again, and he's met by a solid challenge from Mark Flanagan. Budebza. And here is Pulatua.
Yeah, there's certainly more shape about this Hulkington Rovers outfit in the second half. They looked a little bit bewildered and lost. But they've been able to utilise a lot of dummy running, a lot of running from first marker as well. And this guy, Budebza, neat kick into the corner. See the backspin. Excellent.
And Quinlan is the man who picks it up. It's a good chase, a very good chase for Hull KR, led by Salter, helped out by Cocaine. And Walsh gets it away to Adam Swift.
And they were just simple plays coming off the back of what Pulatua was doing. And Donaldson, well, didn't he come onto that ball well? Made a mistake.
Has lost it. The ball has come back to Pulatua. They play the first knock on. Hull KR will get head and feed here.
And there's your reward. There's your reward for running half. James Donaldson, he run and he was so committed to making a dent in that defensive line. They kick on the front foot, they get them where they want them, they put them under pressure. Travis Burns, you can see that he's looking at the on-rushing defence from Graham Horn, the number 12, and that's why he makes the mistake.
Look, we know that St Helens are absolutely wonderful keeping this ball alive, but there are times in any sport where possession is vital, and that really was a silly pass from the two halfbacks.
And here is Ben Cocaine. And he brings it back into centre field to Liam Salter. Salter gets to within 3 metres.
I'll have a bet on Budebza having a go sometime in this set of 6. He'll go on his own.
You hedged your bets there. Is he going to go on his own this time?
How much have you put on it, Mike?
Well, he's kept his money in his pocket as per normal. That was Chisholm. There's Blair and Dixon taking on Dawson.
Good work by the winger, Dawson.
And helped out also by the man who made the initial error. That's Travis Burns. Dixon felt that, all that weight on top of him. Donaldson trying to prize a hole in this St Helens defence, but they've lost a bit of ground here. They're 12 metres away now. The Debs busy, gets it to Chisholm, who went in front of the man, bounced its way to Cocaine, nowhere for him to go. They've lost more ground, they're now 20 odd metres away. Salter.
I've lost my bet.
You have. High from Chisholm, wide, looking for Mantellato. Finding Mantellato. He releases the pass, and that's a gift for Matty Dawson.
Yeah, just hanging around, wasn't it, the winger Dawson there, but neat play. They really have upped the tempo. Obviously, Chris Chester wasn't happy with the first 30 minutes of this game. And
I think he might have been, and I think his players might have been a bit embarrassed, actually.
Yeah, and that means that the coach wasn't too impressed.
Do you know, they've got nothing to lose, just go out there and play.
It's their defence that's tightened up as well.
Amor takes it forward for St Helens. Last tackle, though, we've reached. Remember, no John Wilkin, no Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, no James Roby, but
brilliant stuff.
Excellent stuff.
How on earth did Greenwood do that?
Oh, and he's got another set of 6 here as Jordan Turner. He's going to get another set of 6 as well, because that was knocked out.
No, he grabbed the arm, I think.
He wipes the tackle count down again.
Boy, athletic there, Greenwood.
And another 0, says the referee, so they've still got 6 tackles remaining. Flanagan, lovely dummy, lovely try, Mark Flanagan. First try of the season for him as well. 10th appearance in a row. He got a try against York in the Challenge Cup, but that's his first Super League try of 2015. And Mark Flanagan, He was loose forward last week, introduced off the bench by Kieran Cunningham tonight, and Flanagan just increases the champions' lead.
It all came about with this wonderful, wonderful effort. It would have been a knock-on, I feel. The Rovers' hand just got to it. But there you can see they just pulled the arm of Walsh. And it was a very simple dummy, take nothing away from Flanagan.
It's a nice try by one of the back row, really, from St Helens. He's almost like a labourer on a building site. He does a lot of work. I don't think he gets a lot of thanks or credit for it. But here he's on hand here to get over the try line for a little bit of glory. I mentioned a hero of mine in the first half, Harry Pinner, used to play in the back row for St Helens. He's here tonight with, you know, the team from 1985. 30 years ago, St Helens defeated Hull KR in the Premiership final. He's here tonight as we see Mark Flanagan take a rest on the sideline, along with a lot of other great players like Roy Haggerty, Chris Arkwright, Barry Ledger, Paul Forber, a few of them here tonight. So 30 years ago, St Helens were too good for Hull KR, and it looks at this stage, Eddie, now that will continue here tonight.
Yes, it does. They still have 22 minutes or so, Hull Kingston Rovers, to get themselves back into this match again, but it looks like, as I think one of you said in the first half, was it you, Phil, or was it Steve-O? It looks like a game between a top 8 side and a bottom 4 side, and that's exactly what we've got. Walsh adds the extras. He's kicked well tonight. 36-12. Well, we'll know the 8 teams for definite after tonight. We won't yet know the final order who will play in the Super 8s. But Saints are heading back to the top. That might change as well on Sunday when they play the Catalan Dragons. Catalan hit by injury as well. And some of the injured players here, Tommy Makinson, Paul Wallens, of course, who is now hung his boots up and recovering from that hip operation that he needed, desperately needed as well. Johnny Lomax, almost a forgotten man at Saints, hardly played this year. Let's hope he comes back bigger and stronger in 2016.
And they have had some big injuries over the last couple of years, haven't they, to some key individuals, and the likes of Mark Flanagan. He came on for Lewis Charnock. He played at hooker, so versatile in his approach to the game, went down under for West Tigers, made a name for himself, and that's Saints. Saints have got that many players who can step up to the mark, they can play in different positions, and it doesn't really take much away from them.
And that really has been the story of St Helens over the years. Doesn't matter who fills the white jersey with the red V, they all seem to play off the same copybook. Let's go downstairs and join Bill.
Eddie, you mentioned Paul Wellens there at half-time. He was showing me his photo of his operation, as people like to do in these situations, and he's got a fantastic photograph of the lengthy scar on his thigh where he's had his hip operation with 31 staples in it. I have to tell you, it's not a little scar, and this is an impressive number of staples. He's very proud of the photograph, but it's great to see him back on his feet, although he's still on a couple of crutches. Won't be for long. He's pain-free, he's sleeping, and he feels a whole lot better after the operation. I know you're doing a special on him in the next few weeks, Eddie, and I'm sure he'll show you his photograph.
Well, I hope he shows me the photograph after the interview. I'm not the strongest of stomach, I'm afraid. I've already seen Paul Cullen's photographs of his operation recently as well.
Yeah, you don't want to see them before lunch, do you?
That special, by the way, with Paul Wellens, it's all been arranged. We have yet to conduct the interview. It's Wednesday, the 26th of August. It's on the Boots and All slot, and we'll be talking to Paul Wellens about his glittering career in the game and the trials and tribulations. And it's the Wednesday before the Challenge Cup final, and I wonder whether Saints will be there. He knows we're talking about him.
And why not? A great star. And boy, it has shone bright virtually throughout his entire career. It's a difficult time now for Chris Chesser at 36-12. He knows he's got an important semi-final coming up. We've already seen that a bit of a problem for Tyrone McCarthy. Maybe it's time for him to give him a bit of a rest. I don't really feel that anybody watching this can see that the Rovers can come back into this game.
He's out there though. Tyrone McCarthy was operating at marker there, and he's there in the tackle now on Josh Jones.
Release, Sean! Hold it, Tony.
He did say, Chris Chester, actually, before this match, that not only is he after the 2 points, and he hadn't himself waved the white flag as far as the top 8 is concerned, he said there are still spots up for grabs for next weekend.
Well, it's always good to keep you on the toes, especially for an important match like that. Now then, can we see some skill from Dixon? No, that's a good kick and chase, and that's good defence.
There's Quinlan leading the way with Travis Burns. A much happier occasion for Travis Burns than the last time that these two sides met, when he had that badly broken jaw. Penalty here against Jordan Turner of St Helens. He pulled at the ball, I think, is the referee's view.
Well, you can see the left arm go underneath. Didn't have to do that. And there's our colleague at the end there. Stuart Cummins made it quite clear that the referees are wanting a clean play the ball, no interruption. And is that a knock on? No, he'll say
it was an attempted offload. And it was an attempted offload, he says, by McCarthy. I think that was generous.
Yep.
Hold. That's one. Go.
No team that ever likes getting beaten, and obviously 4 converted tries down now, but you said that there's places up for grabs next week. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Who's going to come back in? Obviously Albert Kelly, then does Dane Chisholm keep his place? Maurice Blur go into the forwards, Ken Seo to come back. So although
Kevin Laroya from suspension.
Yes, they could be beaten this evening, but there's still some good players to come in next week and challenge.
Yeah, especially Albert Kelly. You know, when Campisi was ruled out for the rest of the season, a lot of people thought perhaps that Kelly couldn't step up, but he sure has done that. He's their key player.
Here's Chisholm, lays it off to Dixon, and that's the turnover. Did they miss the count? Did Dixon not hear the call, or were they content to turn it over 5 metres away from Saints' line?
Well, if they are successful in the Challenge Cup semi-final, Eddie, and progress through to the final, I hope they are, and it'd be great for the club to get back there. And I think maybe the first half of this match will be a significant one for them. Learning how to win and start a game well. Remember, in the first half an hour, they just starved their opponent. Sorry, St Helens starved Hull KR of any chance to attack in. They kicked early, as Terry pointed out. There's a penalty conceded here. That's going to get in there to their own half. The second half, possession's even, the territory's a bit more even, and as a result, the contest is more even. But the way the match began for the first 30 minutes, it was almost as if Hull KR were trying to run up a giant hill in the field. The Saints tilted it downhill in their favour, and it gave them a massive advantage.
Was Chisholm a little bit unfortunate there, because his arm was trapped under Jordan Turner's arm as well, Stuart?
I think the penalty is the same issue as the one before, where the referee had called held while he was upright. They then took him to the ground and then wanted a bit more time on the ground. I think he wanted him releasing straight away, as it gave him that benefit taking him to the ground.
Well, here's Alex Walmsley now for St Helens. And it's Quinlan. Ooh. And they're appealing on the terraces for a high shot on Quinlan. Atelebe, Burns, Walsh, Greenwood. Plays the ball here to Lewis Charnock. Charnock then to Burns. He switches to the direction of the attack. Off the boot by Luke Walsh, collected by Cockayne. Goal line dropout force because Adam Swift was all around him.
And that's the main advantage that this St Helens side have, is the likes of Travis Burns and Luke Walsh on that occasion. Beautiful timed kick just into the corner. There's nothing that Cockayne could do but take it out. It's a little bit drop out underneath the sticks. It's, as I say, both Burns and Walsh very, very good tactically. Not the type of half-backs that will take on the defence, but they're quite happy to keep farming it out to the three quarters, especially with the likes of Dawson Turner, Percival Swift. There's plenty of talent there.
Amor took that pass from Burns, drives it in. Lewis Charnock waits again, 30 metres away. Alex Walmsley.
I must say, this Lewis Charnock, he hasn't let the side down. He's been very, very steady.
Luke Walsh, Burns gets the ball away to Greenwood. He steps through one challenge and just finds his way to the line with apparent ease. That's his second try of the match. Joe Greenwood, he got a try against the Giants a couple of weeks ago. He had a ringing endorsement from his coach Kieran Cunningham at the start of the season. He was on his way out on dual registration. Kieran Cunningham said, I couldn't do that to him. He's a superstar in the making.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And that all came about from the angle run. Not a case of just coming onto the ball at speed. Watch how he just takes the angle. See there was no chance. Liam Salter knew that the big fella was going through. Angle run, that's what it takes. Bang. Salter. He's had a fine game, this fella. He's such an awkward runner as well. Got plenty of meat upstairs.
And immediately he scores that try, and Kieran Cunningham says, that will do for now. And off he comes. Managing his resources wisely, Kieran Cunningham. We're coming up to that stage of the season where we're going to have all the accolades handed out at Man of Steel. Are we looking at a possible Coach of the Year there in Kieran Cunningham, his first season in charge?
Yes. And Brian McDermott.
Yes. Sean Wayne can't be ruled out.
Oh,
Paul Anderson.
Definitely not ruled out. 3 fine coaches.
Eddie, they throw that many numbers at you there, and just have a little look at Chisholm. Does he go for the lead runner in Joe Greenwood, or does he take the man out the back in Quinlan? Because both of those runners were committed. If they get the ball, they both got a runner's options, and Chris Chester and Willie Porchin, it's been a difficult night for them. To concede 42 points shows that they've not been up to it defensively, and have not challenged Saints enough.
Montelato with a huge kick-off, high, and underneath it is Quinlan. Here's Kyle Amor.
Well, at 42-12, this is where the forwards like to say, let's get near their line. Often they get the opportunity to try to barge over.
Last win at Langtree Park for Rovers a long time ago now, June 2013. Was Swift in touch there? No. Play on.
Boy, that was a great take by Jordan Turner. Very difficult offload. That might have been a touch forward to Jones. Yep. Touch the whitewash.
So this attack should have been brought back for the scrum feed to Hull KR.
Yep.
They'll fear that things really are going against them if St Helens score here. Walsh spins it to Jones. Jones puts the kick in. Cocaine is there again, takes control of the situation and does well.
Yeah, really well. Winger Cocaine had to as well, but again, such the important factor that Kieran Cunningham knows he has up the sleeve with both the kicking games from Burns and Walsh.
Liam Salter felt that challenge. And Charnock and Thompson, and Amor getting stuck in again here on Montelato. Adam Walker, he doesn't make too many metres forward either, gets the pass away though, and here is Greg Burke, the man on loan from the Wigan Warriors.
When you look at the fact that the Rovers really were not at the races for quite a long time, in fact it was just a, shall we say, a good 10 minutes that allowed him to get 2 tries on the board, but apart from those 10 minutes, you'd have to say that St Helens have been very impressive. They've had good shape, great defence, and great support play as well.
Oh, and Dixon's come for this. Following his own kick-up, wasn't he, Kieran Dixon? And he gets to Quinlan.
I think what we've seen as well tonight, Mike, is St Helens, which reminds me back early in the season, I've forgotten the exact game, when they had 2 striked weapons, one on the right, one on the left, and both of them were second rowers, Greenwood and Vey, and they're back now to the best. When they've run hard, strong, and intelligently. They've run at the spaces, not the faces when they've been attacking. Both come up with a try really by going through and doing that. And any team that's going to play against the Saints and beat them needs defenders out wide who are brave, clever, and pretty strong.
Yes, Greenwood and Vey had the opportunity of playing together, Phil, 18 matches ago when Televe was injured in the first game this year against Hull KR up there at the KC Lightstream Stadium. He's back tonight, back at just the right time as well, with the Super 8s just round the corner.
Neat little kick there by Luke Walsh. You can see the backspin straight on it, and that'll be a pleasing factor for the Super 8s, where St Helens will go in with a lot of confidence after this win. The way that Burns and Walsh, with their super short kicking game, just kept turning the Rovers round and round again. It's been a tough night for them.
Yes, it has been a tough night for Rovers. They've got 9 minutes remaining. Sean Lunt to pull a tour. Won't have enjoyed his return to St Helens, but that's a nice ball to Blair, and that's a good ball to Wellen. He's got Montalato hugging the touchline. He slipped at the vital moment, and Dawson came in, and he's taken a bit of a bang. There's Josh Montalato. Blair with the kick, high. Here's a little tester for... Whoa, he's come up with a fumble there. Adam Swift, but he got away with it because he was facing his own posts.
Yeah,
now, Jordan Turner.
Just went on the angle, went behind him. It should be a penalty.
Do you know, they're absolutely out on the feet here, Hull KR. There was a laboured chase. There was only Salter and Tyrone McCarthy who were pushing up. They've only just really got themselves sorted now. And that's on tackle 3. Lining up big Alex Walmsley. They've got to make sure they control the speed of this ruck. If they fail to do that, Eddie, there could be a couple more tries coming here.
Quinlan to Swift, and Swift gets away from Chisholm first off, but then Chisholm gets him the second attempt. They've restricted them to only 30-odd metres away from their own line here, but Burns with a little kick through into space, something here for everybody to chase.
Oh, he's injured badly. I think Matty Dawson, I think his arm may be very badly injured. I thought he would have elected to kick that ball on.
Yeah, it was a
duo. Montalato came across with a sliding challenge.
Why not kick it past him?
I don't think it's his arm, Phil. I think it's the back of his head that's hit the ground with some gusto here. Watch.
Well, I tell you what, you're going to get a bravery award for Montalato. Talk about putting your body on the line, and Dawson came careering right over him. He would have got a nice dig in the ribs. He's been a big start, hasn't he, Josh Montalato, on this Rovers side this season. Really has made a name for himself.
Well, what's the referee ruled here, Stuart? Has he said that Montalato didn't make a play for this ball?
No, he's ruled as a knock-on by Dawson here going into it.
Yeah, there you see quite clearly.
I don't think he's knocking that backwards.
I think he tried to knock it backwards, didn't he?
I think it probably looks that way. They've ruled live on the field that he's knocked that forward. Difficult to see.
That didn't do his spine any good.
It doesn't matter because Lewis Charnock has pounced on a loose ball from Hull KR. They've surrendered possession, first tackle. Here's Thompson now.
It's been a problem, hasn't it, Rovers, throughout this game, that they've lost possession, and losing possession so early in the tackle has not allowed them to be able to settle and get into some sort of shape.
Kyle Amor now, 20 metres away, the Saints. Here's Luke Walsh. Now it's Burns taking it to the line, finds Quinlan. Good hands from Swift. Goes inside. Salter goes round. Dixon scores a try with Adam Swift. He hasn't missed a game this year, Adam Swift. Each and every one on the wing. And that's his 11th try of the campaign. The former Blackbrook amateur from within this town.
Yeah, again, Rovers losing possession. It really should have been picked up by Dane Tills. Again, the combination of the two halfbacks. Quinlan came in right in the right moment. That's a good finish. What's a wonderful footwork from Adam Swift. It was a good take. You have to reach for it. There's the step. There's the jiggle. There's the try.
So 46 points to Saints, 12 to Hull KR. You know, when you look back on this season, and Kieran Cunningham was the first to say, after they played South Sydney in the World Club Challenge, they were given a lesson in the 39 points to nil defeat. But haven't they recovered from that reverse, and now they sit top of the table at the end of the first phase. But Leeds, of course, have to play on Sunday.
Well, they're an honest group, aren't they? You just look at the people who's involved. You've got Paul Sculthorpe still involved at the club. You've got Mike Bennett. You've got Tommy Martin. You've obviously got Kieran Cunningham and Sean Long. You've got players that have been at the club for 10 years plus. They know all about the systems. They know all about the heritage of this great club. And that's why that when you suffer a humiliating defeat, and that's what John Wilkins said to me when they've been beaten by Souths, that they needed to step up and they needed to make sure that their performances were better. And that's exactly what they've done, even with all those injuries that they've had, Eddie.
Yes, and they've coped tonight without Roby, Wilkin, who will miss next week. Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook not playing either. But the sides here named by the two coaches, not weak really on paper. That's a miss by Walsh. 46-12.
Feels, Eddie, a little bit like last night's game, doesn't it, when Wigan beat Hull? Sides on paper pretty strong, really, one or two missing, but the difference in class, as I said, the top four side against the bottom four side here tonight. Hull have been brave, they've tried very hard, particularly in the second half, but that's a wonderful finish. He doesn't miss many chances.
No, Adam Swift, latest try scorer. Hull KR's confidence will have been low on arriving here, having been beaten in their last three, Huddersfield, Salford and Hull last week, when really that was the end of their bid for a place in the Super 8. They'd won 4 in a row prior to that, including the Cup quarter-final against the Catalan Dragons, 36-10 victory. Incredible, they've beaten the Catalan Dragons by 50 points and by 36 points, and yet it's the Dragons this year who are going to end up in the Super 8s.
But sometimes those losses inspire you as well. Sometimes that they're the ones that really turn your game around and turn the season around. But unfortunately for Hull KR, it has just not been for them. The last 4 games, as you quite rightly say, they've not been good enough. And you've talked to any one of those players, they'll say that they didn't turn up, they made too many mistakes, they turned the ball over and they didn't ask enough questions. And that's why they've lost those last 4, because there's no doubting that this side can attack. There's no doubting that they can score tries.
And the consolation is they will get 4 home games in the middle 8s. As I don't think Widnes or Salford can get above them in the table points-wise, and Widnes and Salford play on Sunday for the right to also have 4 home games in the middle 8s of the season, or the qualifiers as they are officially called.
And amazingly, Eddie, that could prove
vital.
Yeah. Oh, Dixon's away. Nice stop. Oh, good tackle by Quinlan.
Very good tackle. Oh, he lost that. Last tackle here. And Chisholm, oh, he goes down under the challenge from Jones, and he's not happy with that, Chris Chester.
No, he wants to see his team thinking a little bit quicker than that. That's about the 3rd time that they've done that. And Swift,
he's away. Now Dixon is quick, but he's beaten him in the tackle, and Swift's going over for his 2nd try of the match. And St Helens hit the 50. 50 up for St Helens. It was comprehensive last night for Wigan against Hull FC. Equally so tonight for Saints against Hull KR.
Well, he tried his damnedest in fullback Kieran Dixon, but certainly Swift by name, certainly Swift by nature as well. That was good footwork to get away with that, but this should have been a good tackle from Dixon. It wasn't. It was clever as well by Adam Swift. He sort of just moved away at the vital moment when Kieran Dixon is just about to lunge for him. Watch this. That's it. Just move the legs away. Neat little push with the right arm. He's had a fine game. Every right to smile. Just banged a pair.
Yes, he has, with a minute and a half remaining, and the coaching staff shake hands all round. Job well done for them. Be a penny for Chris Chester's thoughts at this moment in time. Adam Swift, 2 tries late on here, sealing the victory, a 50-point success. And Kieran's having a quick selfie in Sean Long. Don't they call that photo bombing when Sean Long comes in from the side? Is that what they call it these days?
So hippie, weren't you then?
Well, I'm down with the kids, me.
Photo bombing?
I'm down with the kids, Steve, aren't you there?
Well, I'm glad I'm not.
Last minute of the match, Walsh adds another 2 points. It's a 50-point margin now. 52-12. St Helens will go forward to the Super 8s and the semi-final in good heart. Hull Kingston Rovers, they have got a rebuilding job to do.
Well, it's Saints at the ruthless best, isn't it? And there's some tired efforts there, and you could see Tyrone McCarthy, he was limping, and whether that man Adam Swift spotted the weakness around the ruck early, because a couple of the players maybe have switched off all the injuries that they were carrying, and maybe some of them are looking at the floor and they just can't wait for next week to come around.
And that shows you how clever a winger he is, because you've got to really have your brains sorted out.
There's the full-time siren, a 50-point margin for St Helens. It was 24-12 at half-time. They have kept Hull Kingston Rovers scoreless in the second 40. And they have run in tries in the second half from Quinlan, Flanagan, Greenwood and 2 from Swift. 9 tries, 8 goals from Luke Walsh. 2 tries, 2 goals from Hull Kingston Rovers. It was that big a margin of victory. And Rovers with a massive rebuilding work plan to get through next week. And Hull KR and St Helens approaching their big semi-finals in totally different frames of mind. Joe Greenwood is the man of the match, and here he is talking to Bill.
Joe, congratulations on a man of the match performance. That's got to be job well done, because it's a bit of a tricky game this. You know, a week before a Challenge Cup semi-final, so to be emphatic winners like that, it's pretty good going.
Yeah, it is. I thought the first 20 minutes we stuck out the arm wrestle with them, but then we give them like a 10-minute spell where we just switched off a bit, and obviously going into the Challenge Cup semi-final we can't do that against the big teams like Leeds, because they'll just punish you. But last 5 minutes of the first half we stuck to it, and then come out in second half with all guns blazing.
A couple of tries for you, it must be great. I mean, you've got people buzzing around this side as well. Luke Walsh, Travis Burns, Adam Quinlan now coming into the side. It must be great to play off the back of that.
Oh yeah, you learn so much from them. They're just such good players, and they teach so much. Like this year, I've come on so much as a player, learning off Travis and Luke Walsh, and they just get you through it.
Great competition for places as well.
Oh yeah, there's quite a lot of spots that are up for grabs still. So you have to keep on your game every game. So yeah, it's good.
You've done your cause a lot of good this week with 2 tries. Well done, Joe.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done for Tyrone McCarthy for coming to talk to us. Ty, thanks very much indeed, because really you're not at the races tonight, apart from that one spell where you put points on the board.
Yeah, I think that's a frustrating thing. Throughout the season, inconsistency. We think we show glimpses of excellence, and 1 or 2 minutes of lapse of concentration, and then it seems to snowball.
It'll be a different story next week. I mean, there's no potential that maybe that was on your minds tonight?
No, definitely not. I think that's been asked over the last few weeks, but we've been just focusing, trying to get in that top 8. Obviously, we're not come up with that, and now we're focused on that big Warrington game in the Challenge Cup and then middle 8s.
Thanks, Ty. Thanks for talking to us. Kieran Cunningham, Saints coach. Pretty satisfied, apart from one spell in that game where they put some points on you. It was yours, really.
Yeah, it was. It was the most pleasing thing for us as a club is that in the last 2 weeks, we've started out exceptionally well, and it's something that we've been really trying to work on and trying to get better at. And we want to be in games at the beginning, you know, especially in your big games. And you know, like you said, it was a 6-minute period in that first half where we'd had a large quantity of possession for the 30+ minutes, and then, as always happens, you have got to defend, and we'd attack for a long period, and you know, we just wasn't quite good enough in certain areas. So just for 6 minutes, and then we regained it again at the back end of the first half, and you know, it was good to see the boys taking the shackles off in that second half, and I'm really enjoying themselves.
A win that puts you top of the table. Obviously, I mean, there's still permutations about who finishes where and who gets who in the next stage. Are you thinking about that? You know, who you might be lining up against?
No, not at all. We knew we knew tonight's 2 points was as important as last week's. We want to carry this over into the Super 8s, and you know, we want to go into next week's game with a nice convincing victory. And you know, I think both my half-backs were phenomenal. Luke Walsh has got his mojo back. You know, he's been building into something really nice, and I thought he was phenomenal today. He led the side. He was captain of the club, and he led the side round really well.
Quick word about the competition for places you've got now, because Joe Greenwood's got 2 tries tonight. You can have some selection headaches, aren't you?
Yeah, he is, and that's what I enjoy. Both my back rows at the start of the year when John Wilkin was 7, you know, Joe was on the left and Tills was on the right, and they were the 2 of the form back rows in the competition. So Tills has gone 63 minutes today, and you know, that's phenomenal effort for somebody who's been out for 16 weeks. So I'm really proud of what they've done, and you know, I like having the headaches. You know, it's always good headaches when you've got internationals knocking on your door wanting to play rugby.
Thanks, Kieran.
Thank you, Bill.
And thanks, Chris Chester, for coming down to talk to us, because the week before a big cup semi-final, you'd have wanted more from your side, maybe.
Yeah, well, I think we waved the flag that second half. Thought we, you know, we found a way to get ourselves back in the game. You know, a big turning point there where we probably should have scored, and you know, we panicked there and they go the full length. But we weren't good enough contact-wise tonight, and you know, we're pretty soft in a few areas.
To be fair to Dane Chisholm, I mean, if that kick had come off for him, and we've seen those ricochet and gone to hands, it might have been a different story.
I don't know about that. You know, it didn't come off, and you know, it looked foolish. But yeah, mate, we weren't good enough that second half. I thought we did well to get ourselves back into the game. We didn't really have any field position that first half, and you know, the same that second half. We started the second half the same as we started the first half. You know, we just weren't good enough.
Different prospect next weekend.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know, another good side we're coming up against, but you know, we need to improve, and we'll improve.
Thanks, Chris.
Cheers, Bill.
I'm sure they will, and they have been a breath of fresh air in the Super League this year. Hull Kingston Rovers, we wish them all the best for the future. St Helens, they've done their points for and against the power of good tonight. They now are plus 172. They sit top of the table, but Leeds with 267. If they beat Catalan, they'll finish top after 23 rounds. Saints, though, if that's the case, will host Wigan here in the Super 8s.
Ladbrokes, proud sponsor of the Super League on Sky Sports.
But I promise you I'll keep you safe. The sound